Shri Vikram Mishri, on the ongoing official visit of the President of Myanmar. For this special press briefing, he is joined by our Ambassador to Myanmar, Shri Abhay Thakur, as also by Shri B. Shyam, Joint Secretary, BM in the Ministry of External Affairs. With that, I hand over the floor to Foreign Secretary for his initial remarks. Sir.
Thank you, Randir. Thank you all for joining this afternoon. I'm sorry for the delay, but the talks went on for slightly longer than scheduled. As you're aware, at the invitation of the Honorable Prime Minister Shri Narendra Modi, the President of Myanmar, His Excellency Min Aung Hlaing, is on an official visit to India from the 30th of May till the 3rd of June 2026. As you would be aware that he was scheduled to be here for the International Big Cat Alliance Summit, which had to be deferred for unavoidable reasons, but the opportunity was taken for having him here for discussions on our bilateral relations. India also happens to be the first country that the Myanmar president is visiting since he assumed office as president in April 2026. And Myanmar is an important country. It's a neighbor with whom we share a border of 1,643 kilometers. It sits at the confluence of India's neighborhood first Act East, as well as Mahasagar and Indo-Pacific policies. The Myanmar president is accompanied by a high-powered delegation. He has with him 5 cabinet ministers, 3 deputy ministers, and other senior officials. A large business delegation is also accompanying him, as are members of the Myanmar-India Friendship Association. Now, you might have seen day before yesterday, en route to Delhi, the Myanmar president stopped over in Bodh Gaya, where he offered prayers and visited the Mahabodhi temple, the Mahabodhi Dhamma Yekta monastery, and the Sujata temple. And these visits, this stopover just goes to illustrate the deep-seated Buddhist link, religious links between our two countries, as well as the very strong people-to-people ties between the two countries. This morning, the Prime Minister and the President of Myanmar held detailed talks on the entire gamut of bilateral issues, which covered our trade and economic ties, our defense and security related issues, border management, development assistance, cultural exchanges, as well as the regional situation. And both sides expressed an interest in forging closer cooperation, particularly in the areas of trade and investment, in development cooperation, in health, in education, in energy, and in some areas related to advanced technology, for instance, artificial intelligence and the space sector. We will be issuing a more detailed joint statement later in the afternoon, which will provide you with more details of the discussions. Both sides underlined the importance of connectivity for people-to-people contacts and agreed to work as quickly as possible towards the completion of the Kaladan multimodal transit transport project, as well as the Kalewa Yaji segment of the India-Myanmar-Thailand trilateral highway. The Prime Minister reaffirmed India's support for the sovereignty and territorial integrity of the Republic of the Union of Myanmar, and both sides underscored the importance of preventing the misuse of sovereign territory for activities inimical to their security interests. And the President of Myanmar in particular reiterated the assurance that Myanmar's territory would not be permitted to be used against India's security interests. In the afternoon today, in a short while from now, in fact, Honorable Rashtrapati Ji will receive the President of Myanmar. Earlier, day before yesterday, the External Affairs Minister of India had called on the president, and yesterday the National Security Advisor Shri Ajit Doval also called on the president here in Delhi. The Myanmar president also attended an India-Myanmar business conclave, which was jointly organized by the Union of Myanmar Federation of Chambers of Commerce and Industry on the Myanmar side, and by CII and FICCI on the Indian side. This took place here in New Delhi yesterday and gave the opportunity to both sides to exchange thoughts on trade and commerce. Bilateral trade between India and Myanmar stands at slightly over $2 billion, which comprises slightly over $600 million of exports by Myanmar and about $1.5 billion in exports by India. Sorry, it's the other way around. Our exports are slightly over $600 million and Myanmar's exports are slightly over $1.5 billion. The president of Myanmar also took the opportunity yesterday to visit the NTPC Energy Technology Center in Greater Noida. He will be leaving for Mumbai tomorrow, where, among others, he will visit the Jawaharlal Nehru Port Trust and the Chhatrapati Shivaji Maharaj International Airport in the city. The focus, obviously, of that part of the visit is technology, energy, and infrastructure cooperation. Overall, this visit by the president has once again reaffirmed the shared commitment of both sides to deepen their long-standing partnership and to work together for mutual benefit, growth, and prosperity in the region. The Myanmar president also extended an invitation to Prime Minister to visit Myanmar at mutually convenient dates. So let me stop there. We don't have a whole lot of time available, but I'd be happy to answer a few questions in the time that is available. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. We now open the floor for questions. We'll begin with Nanima. Yeah.
Nanima Basu, independent journalist. Thank you for doing this. Foreign Secretary, if I can ask you, were there any discussions on Aung San Suu Kyi, what is happening with her, and the democratic principles, what's happening to democracy there? Thank you so much.
Siddhant.
Hi, sir. Siddhant from Beyond. So you mentioned about defense cooperation. What is the defense cooperation which we're looking at between India and Myanmar?
Ayushi.
Sir, good afternoon. This is Ayushi Agarwal from ANI. So was there any discussion on enhancing economic cooperation in critical minerals and rare earths, like India exploring access to Myanmar's rare earth resources? And second, sir, did cyber scam networks and trafficking of Indian nationals feature in the talks between the two leaders? And has India sought stronger cooperation from Myanmar to crack down on such operations? Thank you.
Mm-hmm. Shruti, you had a question? Yeah, please.
Sir, you just spoke about the Kaladan multi project and also the trilateral highway. If you could give us an understanding where it is and what kind of promises or assurances Myanmar has extended, because these projects are stalled, that is what we understand.
Keshav, you have a question? Please.
Thank you, Foreign Secretary. Keshav Padmanabhan from The Print. Just wanted to, were there any discussions on the internal security situation in Myanmar and what has sort of India reiterated? I know in the past it has supported a Myanmar-led solution. So what was sort of the discussions between the two leaders on the current situation in the country?
So we can take these questions.
Okay. Nanima, your question related to Aung San Suu Kyi. Let me say that the Prime Minister did raise this matter with the President, and this was a discussion that was largely in the context of the peace process that is or has been underway in Myanmar for quite some time. The effort to bring in all the ethnic groups onto the same platform and find a way forward within a united Myanmar. this is something that you're aware has been going on for a long period of time. There isn't yet final agreement between all stakeholders. And in the context of the points that the Prime Minister was making on the need for, as Myanmar finds its way back towards democracy, the need for an enduring peace in the country, the need for inclusion, the need to have all stakeholders at the table, and to examine the points of views of all the interlocutors who have been part of this process over a long period of time. So that essentially, it was a bit of a freewheeling discussion on that issue, and that is where issues related to democracy, etc., were also raised. I should underline that, our engagement with Myanmar is not intended to be a commentary on the internal political arrangements in that country. We have always proceeded on the principle that sustained dialogue is what is important and what is an imperative for India as a neighbor. And the answer is clearly not disengagement. History has shown that disengagement doesn't give us any results that are better than engagement, and it certainly doesn't produce democratic change if that is what we are interested in. On the other hand, disengagement only produces a vacuum that others go on to fill then to our detriment. And those others have no interest in democracy, I can assure you about that. So we have consistently engaged, and while engaging, we have always put forward our thoughts on all of these issues related to democracy, related to the peace process, related to inclusion, and to the absolute importance of having all stakeholders as part of the dialogue at the table. Siddhant, on your question related to defense cooperation, this is something that has been in focus for several years now. And mostly the defense cooperation with Myanmar focuses on training, on capacity building, on institution building. And a very important part of the training is in the context also of UN peacekeeping. So we have been training Myanmar troops in the tasks of UN peacekeeping. And obviously, as I mentioned earlier, we have a 1,643 kilometer long border. There are important defense and security related interests in the context of that border. And that is also something that gets discussed when various mechanisms related to defense cooperation get together. Ayushi, your question related to economic cooperation. Yes, issues related to critical minerals and rare earths did come up during the discussions today. This is something that has been a subject of bilateral discussions for some time. And today as well, there was an understanding that the two governments and the entities from the two countries would continue to stay in touch, remain in touch on these issues, and take forward cooperation in these areas. Your point related to cyber scams is a topical one. This is something on which we have been cooperating with Myanmar over a period of time. If my memory serves me right, over the course of the last year and a half, we have been able to repatriate over 2,200 Indian citizens from cyber scam compounds in Myanmar, especially in the bordering regions in southeast Myanmar. As of now, from the latest counts, we have possibly slightly over 150 odd Indian citizens that we know of, about whom we have reports, who are still stuck in some of these cyber scam compounds. And we are trying to, we are in discussions with yes, I've just been told that the number repatriated is over 2,400. So 2,411 people have been repatriated. So we are in touch with the Myanmar government to try and repatriate the remaining people as well. And it's important to note that, while the Indian nationals remain trapped there, they are usually trafficked there through a third country. And that just underlines the need for not just more bilateral cooperation related to this issue, which is also a security issue between the two countries, but also underlines the need for greater regional cooperation on this matter in this particular region. So this was raised today as well, and we have raised it in several other bilateral forums between the two countries. There was, Shruti, your question on the two significant connectivity related projects that we have, the Kaladan multimodal transit transport project and the India-Myanmar-Thailand trilateral highway project. You're right, these projects have been underway for several years, and they have been delayed in most cases, and certainly right now the obstacle that faces both of these projects is the security situation in Myanmar. The Kaladan highway is in an area where there are active hostilities going on right now between the Myanmar army and the ethnic armies in Rakhine State, whereas the section of the trilateral highway where work was underway and has gone on in fits and starts in recent years as well, is again in an area where ethnic armed groups and the PDFs are quite active and engaging in hostilities with the Myanmar army. So obviously in these circumstances, it's a little difficult to meet preset targets and dates. Nevertheless, we have continued to engage with the Myanmar authorities, and wherever there has been a possibility to take forward the work by utilizing either lulls in fighting or by securing, making sure that the security of the workers, of the teams of workers, is not going to be impacted, we have been able to move forward. But this is something that remains a major priority. It was raised by Prime Minister today with the President, and the President once again gave his assurance that Myanmar would do everything to ensure that these projects moved forward towards completion. Keshav, your question related to internal security. Well, one aspect of internal security is obviously what I have referred to just now in answer to several questions, which is the fighting that is going on in different parts of the country, especially around the peripheries between the military and the ethnic armed groups. The other part or other aspect of internal security is obviously the effort by the Myanmar state to bring all the ethnic armed organizations and the groups onto a single platform to advance the peace process, which is essentially an effort to see how the current structure of governance or the system of government that Myanmar has, what kinds of changes might be needed in that, so that something is crafted around which there is broad national consensus, and then move forward on that basis. And this is something in which we obviously have an interest, because as I have said, that stability and peace in Myanmar is obviously a major interest for India, not just for the security of the Northeast and the safety and security of people living along the 1,643 kilometer long border that we have with them, but also for our interests such as connectivity to Southeast Asia. And obviously, security and stability in Myanmar is also important for the coherence of ASEAN as a whole as well, because Myanmar is an important and large country within the ASEAN framework as well. So these security-related matters are obviously very important for us. Apart from that, of course, there is the very important question of the activities of Indian insurgent groups in Myanmar close to our borders. And this is something, again, that the Prime Minister raised with the President, and the President once again reiterated his assurance that Myanmar was sensitive to these concerns and again would do everything necessary to ensure that that there was action against these, and these did not become a cause of threat against the security of India. So the coda to your question about a Myanmar-led solution is essentially in the context of the peace process. We have always believed that eventually the difficulties that face Myanmar will have to be sorted out by the people of Myanmar talking amongst themselves. This will have to be a Myanmar-led solution and a Myanmar-owned solution. So I don't think from the outside anybody has any ready-made solutions to offer Myanmar. Yes, we can offer experiences, we can share experiences, and as a matter of fact, that is what India has done and been doing consistently over several years. Even as Myanmar or authorities in Myanmar have sought to learn more about the system of constitutional governance or federalism as a form of governance, they obviously look next door at India and see an example worth following or emulating. And in this context, our embassy in Myanmar and the Ministry of External Affairs have been cooperating with authorities in Myanmar to organize workshops and seminars where there is extensive discussion on India's nearly 8-decade-long experience of constitutional governance, of federalism. And I do believe that these are seen as very, very valuable lessons by our friends in Myanmar. I think
we can take last two questions, sir. One from here. Neeraj.
सर नमस्कार, मैं नीरज दुबे प्रभा साक्षी से। सर जो म्यांमार के सशस्त्र समूह हैं उन पर आरोप लगते रहे हैं कि वो नॉर्थ ईस्ट में आकर अशांति फैलाते हैं, खासकर एक क्षेत्र में। तो क्या आज द्विपक्षीय वार्ता के दौरान इस मुद्दे पर कोई बातचीत हुई? इसके अलावा सर बड़ी संख्या में जब वहाँ पे तख्ता पलट हुआ था, वहाँ से बड़ी संख्या में लोग आकर मिजोरम में रह रहे हैं, तो क्या उनकी वापसी के मुद्दे पर भी कोई चर्चा हुई है?
मधु।
सर मधुरेंद्र, मैं न्यूज़ नेशन से। रोहिंग्याओं के मुद्दे पर आपने बताया कि बातचीत हुई है, तो मैं जानना चाहता हूं सर कि क्या उनको रिपेट्रिएट करने के लिए कोई प्लान जो है उसको बनाया गया है, और वो प्लान क्या होगा, कैसे उसको इम्प्लीमेंट किया जाएगा, क्योंकि पूरे देश भर में अलग-अलग जगहों पर उनका फैलाव देखा गया है। और दूसरा सवाल जो इन्होंने पूछा कि जो मिजोरम में जो डेमोग्राफ चेंज हो रहा है पूरी तरह से देखा जा रहा है, खासतौर पे जो रिफ्यूजीज वहाँ पर भारी पैमाने पर आए हैं, तो उसको लेकर भी क्या बातचीत हुई? और आपने एक और चीज़ कालादान प्रोजेक्ट के बारे में भी बताया, तो मैं जानना चाहूँगा कि चूँकि ये प्रोजेक्ट 2002 से चल रहा है और आपने बताया कि रखाइन स्टेट में जिस तरह के वॉर चल रहे हैं उसके कारण इस पर काफ़ी इम्पैक्ट है। तो क्या हम किसी डेडलाइन को क्रिएट करने की स्थिति में भी हैं कि कब तक ये पूरा हो पाए?
Last question.
विनीत दीक्षित फ्रॉम न्यूज़गेट। मेरा कि जो 1600 किलोमीटर की जो बाउंड्री है उस पे हम लोगों ने फ्री मूवमेंट रिजीम बंद कर दिया है। वहाँ पर जितने भी फेंसिंग हो रही है छोटे छोटे पैमाने पे, खासकर मणिपुर में नतीजे बहुत अच्छे आए हैं। क्या म्यांमार की तरफ से कोई प्रोटेस्ट नोट हुआ है कि ये आप ना करें, क्योंकि सबसे ज़्यादा उनको तकलीफ हो रही है हमारे इस प्रोजेक्ट से?
Sir, we can take these questions.
नीरज, आपका जो एक सवाल था जो म्यांमार की ओर से जो सशस्त्र वहाँ पे ग्रुप्स वगैरह हैं उनकी एक्टिविटीज को लेके। तो मैं आपसे कह सकता हूँ कि ये मुद्दा प्रधानमंत्री जी ने उठाया था आज बातचीत में, और उन्होंने इस बात पे जोर दिया कि ये जो गुट हैं ये हमारी जो सीमाएं हैं उनके आसपास इनकी कार्रवाई चलती रहती है, और जवाब में जो म्यांमार सेना की कार्रवाई होती है इनके खिलाफ, तो वो भी सीमाओं के काफी पास में होती है, और उससे काफी प्रभाव पड़ता है सीमा के इस तरफ भारतीय छोर की तरफ वहां पे रहने वाले लोगों पे। तो कभी-कभी तो वहां पे कुछ नुकसान हो सकता है वहां पे, या जैसे आपने भी बताया कि जो बहुत सारे शरणार्थी हैं उस तरफ से, बॉर्डर के उस तरफ से हमारे यहाँ आ जाते हैं। आप कई मित्रों ने मिजोरम की बात की है, हम सब जानते हैं कि मिजोरम में कुछ समय से वहां पे शरणार्थी इस वजह से आए हुए हैं। तो इसके बारे में बातचीत हुई और प्रधानमंत्री जी ने कहा कि इसके बारे में म्यांमार की सेना और म्यांमार के जो वहाँ पे उनकी अथॉरिटीज जो हैं वो इस पे ध्यान दें और ये कार्रवाई ऐसे की जाए कि नुकसान ना हो, खासकर भारत की और जो रहने वाले लोग हों उनको नुकसान ना हो। जो शरणार्थियों का मामला है वो थोड़ा सा और पेचीदा मामला है, उसमें शरणार्थियों को वापस भेजे जाने का एक प्रणाली है, उसको लेके एक मैकेनिज्म है, और दोनों देश के जो हमारे अथॉरिटीज हैं वो आपस में एक दूसरे से कांटेक्ट में हैं कि उनको कैसे वापस भेजा जाएगा। मैं आपसे कह सकता हूँ कि कई लोगों को वापस भेजा भी गया है पिछले 2 सालों में। और मधुरेंद्र, आपका भी जो इसी को लेके था, तो रोहिंग्या को लेके आपने बात की। तो देखिए, रोहिंग्या का जहां तक मामला है, जो पिछले कुछ साल में जो वहां से लोग निकले हैं वो ज्यादातर तो बांग्लादेश में रहे हैं, और उसको लेके म्यांमार और बांग्लादेश के बीच में बातचीत चल रही है। हमारे यहाँ पे जो लोग पाए गए हैं, जैसा मैंने अभी नीरज के प्रश्न के उत्तर में बताया, जो हमारे यहाँ है उनको लेके एक प्रणाली है उनको वापस करने की, और उसको जो हमारा गृह मंत्रालय है, म्यांमार की जो सरकारी इकाइयां हैं उनके साथ हम कांटेक्ट में हैं, और जैसे जैसे ये बात आगे बढ़ेगी लोगों को वापस हम भेजने की प्रक्रिया को हम जारी रखेंगे। तो इस जो आपने बात की कि मिजोरम की डेमोग्राफी वगैरह को लेके, जैसा मैंने कहा, म्यांमार की जो सरकार है वो भी मानती है कि ये लोग जो हैं ये एक तरह से स्थायी रेफ्यूजीज के रूप में नहीं आए हैं, और जैसे जैसे वहां पे दूसरी तरफ, बॉर्डर के दूसरी तरफ एक नॉर्मल सी लौटेगी तो ये लोग वापस अपनी तरफ वहां पे चले जाएंगे। जहां तक प्रोजेक्ट के डिलेज की बात है, प्रोजेक्ट एग्जीक्यूशन में डेडलाइंस तो रखी गई हैं, लेकिन जहां तक एक तरह से युद्ध और सिविल कॉन्फ्लिक्ट की जब बात आती है तो उन चीजों के लिए कोई प्लान नहीं कर सकता, तो उस वजह से डेडलाइंस को एडजस्ट करना पड़ता है। अभी हम एक ऐसे दौर से गुजर रहे हैं जहां पे ये कहना थोड़ा मुश्किल है कि एग्जैक्टली ये कब समाप्त होगा और किस तेजी से ये काम आगे बढ़ सकता है। मैं इतना ही कह सकता हूँ कि जैसे ही मौका मिलता है काम करने वाली टीमों को, वो काम को आगे बढ़ाने की कोशिश करती है। तो आपका जो प्रश्न था फ्री मूवमेंट रेजिम को लेके, तो आप जानते हैं कि इसमें बदलाव हुआ है, और हमारे भारत सरकार की गृह मंत्रालय और जो हमारे बॉर्डर गार्डिंग फोर्सेस है उनकी ओर से कार्रवाई जारी है फेंसिंग को लेके। आपको ज्ञात होगा इस बात का कि ये फेंसिंग जो है वो हमारी अपनी टेरिटरी में हो रही है, तो इसको लेके इसमें ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि हमें किसी से इजाजत लेने की आवश्यकता हो। हाँ, ये जरूर है कि जो एक तरह से आदान प्रदान रहा है इस सारे बॉर्डर क्षेत्र में लोगों के बीच, जो दोनों तरफ से कई जगह पे जो रिलेशनशिप है, संबंध है लोगों के, उनको नुकसान न पहुंचाते हुए कैसे सिक्योरिटी का एक इंतजाम किया जाए, एक स्ट्रक्चर बनाया जाए, ये उसको लेके है। तो ये जो फेंसिंग का काम भी अभी चालू है, उसमें कई जगह पे एंट्री पॉइंट्स होंगे, गेट्स होंगे, जिनके बारे में जो सूचना है वो म्यांमार साइड के साथ उसको हमने उनके साथ साझा की है, उनको मालूम है इसके बारे में। और मुझे हमें पूरा विश्वास है कि एक तरह से एक कोऑपरेटिव बेसिस पे हम आगे बढ़ पाएंगे इस प्रोजेक्ट को लेकर।
That's
Okay.
it, sir.
All right.
Thank you, sir.
Thank
With
you.
that, ladies and gentlemen, we come to the close of this press briefing. Thank you very much.